But Tego's talking a fact now because I can't lie to you. Bruno Fernandez being in the team definitely restrict. No,
why do you always agree with Tego?
Because I can see where he's
I
coming
thought the crowd was chatting shit.
No, Margs, I don't.
Why do you always agree with Tego?
Margs, I don't.
Anything Tego says,
I don't agree with you. But I don't want to agree with you.
I get where you're coming
But
from.
Margs, you agree with both. You agree with both. I don't want to agree with both. You agree with both. Both's never come here. You agree with a man. I'm kicking off the show.
I've been saying this shit, man. I've been saying this. Stop.
And if you want to agree with Specs thinks Grealish is the best player in the Premier League. So if that's who you want to agree with, go ahead.
We're back. Before we do anything, Poet Mars, I need you guys to...
Yes, Mars, I'd like to apologise for my behaviour today. It wasn't last week, Jordy. If you want to play the fucking television rules, you can. This is real life. Mars, I'm sorry. I apologise.
Yeah, apology accepted.
And now you apologise.
For what?
You said come in to imaginary friends.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry, Poet. Not for
the person you couldn't call was your dad, but I hear you.
And Jordy, do you want to apologise?
My dad's still alive.
I would never apologise.
Mine.
He's out here.
What's going on now?
My dad's out here.
Who have you said that? Who have you said for? What just happened? Who have you said for? It's
I'm just saying, he's out here. I know my dad.
So my dad's dead.
Is he?
Is my dad dead? Is he? Wait, 1 second. Bring it back here. Is my dad dead? Look at me. Is my dad dead?
If he is, he is.
What do you mean?
Yes!
I was that sick, and this is the comeback I get. Okay,
He's talking about death.
Everybody, you need to understand that what happens on this show is completely organic. Because he put your dad in a spliff.
Tego, me and you, we don't joke. Miles is my guy. You know what I'm saying? You're not my guy, Tego, innit?
Oh my God.
All right. Last week we did top 10 left backs.
Today. Beloved. That's what I said.
It got heated. Marks got angry. He made a terrible shout about Luke Shaw.
That wasn't terrible.
That was bad, man.
Read the comments. They rate me.
You prick. You absolute prick. Today we are doing midfielders. Now we talked about it, whether we would break it into different types of midfielders, but when we talked about like the classic defensive midfielder doesn't really exist in the Premier League right now. Like Kante's playing higher up. Even Torreira, who's you would say is archetypal DM.
I just think there's no point. Middle of the park, you get me? You do what you do.
If they're attacking or defensive or
yeah,
box
they
to
do
box,
what you do. It's
the
whatever
shit.
they do. If they do it well, that's the way I ranked it. Obviously, it's hard to compare Kante to Ozil or whatever, but at the same time,
Someone wins Player of the Year, bro. So
I'm going to deal with a bit of a situation. Two situations actually. Let's get these up front. Lippy voted for David Silva.
He's not in the league no more. Jordy.
But at the same time, we've had left backs from Norwich who aren't in the league anymore. So it's tough. But you are going to be out there on your own now because David Silva. Because people probably took the same mentality. But you had him high up. We also had an issue with Bernardo Silva. Now I wouldn't class him as a central midfielder. But he will be a central midfielder. But he is a central midfielder. But like I put a question mark next to his name on the shortlist because any one of you had the right to turn around and go, no, he's not a central midfielder. But no one did.
He's on the list. He goes in.
Yeah, it's like for argument's
I
sake.
see what you're saying, Tego, but I put him as like a midfielder, like an attacking midfielder.
he's an attacking midfielder, but just today I just think that because attacking midfielders come like in more time and the way
I hear
them man play.
I hear what T's saying though. It was like a couple seasons ago when De Bruyne was out on the right. You couldn't judge him as a centre midfielder.
But he's not playing.
on the right.
But
No,
like-
he is now.
But do you know, like for example, like the Saka thing, he didn't play left back, but he played left back. If that makes any sense, like I don't think Bernardo Silva, his job is just to be right wing, so he might catch him inside. Whereas Sane, he's just out here just sniffing the coke on the line. So
Number 10, Fernandinho.
I'm not happy.
What?
I'm not happy.
You know what?
I think he should be higher than that.
Way higher.
I think he should be higher than that.
Way higher.
Lift him.
I've got him
Didn't
10.
put him in there.
Lift him.
You're a madman.
It's hard to fit. It was hard to fit them all in, you know.
No, but Fernandinho, I mean, I know he's playing centre back a lot on that, but come on, man, let's have it right. Like,
No, but Mark, do you know what it is? It's not like the left back list. Being 10th on this list is not a bad list.
I hear you.
There's
but
a bag of man that are serious.
No, if I'm hearing like T-Lilims and that above him, I'm vexed at people.
Not me, not for me.
You're not going to kill me. You're not going to kill me. Do you know who was 10th on my list?
Bro.
Do you know who's 10th on my list?
Who?
Danny Ceballos.
this guy, you're just.
I put him on my list. I swear down.
He's tight.
I
Wait,
put him
hold
on
on.
my list.
Who picked Fernandinho?
I did.
Me.
I did.
You know, he's like.
I think I've been fifth. I think.
But
I had him fifth.
You know, he's like coaching stuff. He's coaching badges.
He's the Dan. He's a Dan.
Yeah, but
He is. But
What are you trying to?
Because you tweeted yesterday you like older women. It makes
what's
sense
that got
now.
to do with
It's all about age. I get it. It's 35. The guy's 35. I get it. You want MILFs and cougars and the older.
But even at 35, he's class.
No, this.
No, but Jordy, like, it's class, but come on.
Come on, bro. 35 years old.
Come on. This is early. Let's see who's above him because you lot are talking crud
Old
now.
Fernandino, yeah, he's definitely in
You lot are
there.
talking crud now because let's
2
see who's
seasons
above him.
ago.
City
When did he sign?
second.
When did he
City
sign?
second. He's a firm
About
reason
09?
because of that. It's not
10
City
maybe, I don't
got a
know.
lot of players. City
Tell
without
me when he signed.
Fernandinho.
But he played more central midfield in the season. They finished
Excuse me?
second though. Central defence, sorry.
What did he say, Paul?
He's in the back three with
Yeah,
them.
he was playing centre
What
back.
did Paul say?
Probably will tell you what he said.
Fernandino what?
Signed in 2015.
No.
No, it was way before
I
that.
was thinking of putting him in there, but because he's been playing centre back this whole
It's
season,
boring now. It's boring.
I just think he's.
if we're going off with what he's done before,
I just
obviously
think-
he's in there.
When I think
I'm
of
just going off what we, did,
Fernandinho,
like,
I'm
what we just
thinking
looked at this season, innit?
performance is a 7 out of 10 minimum. Like, man's not even talking about.
Do you know how many fouls he commits?
No, but he's a sturdy.
What's that got to do with it?
He's a
That's his
fouler.
job,
What,
that's his
Lee Catmull. When I spoke about Lee Catmull, you said, don't tell me about what's love got to do with
Do you
it.
know what it is? I just don't think he's had bare 6 seasons in the Premier League.
No,
It doesn't take away from his ability. It doesn't take away from how good he is.
No,
But
if a man-
his first season wasn't that great. I remember his first season, Jamie Redknapp said he's going to be great. I was like, let me watch him. He wasn't that great. And then towards the latter end of his career, he's playing centre back. So it's not that he's shit. But in
No,
comparison
if man
to
left
all
him
the
off
other
the
talent,
list, yeah, because he's been
can't
playing
lie.
centre back a lot, then if that's the argument you want to make, then I'll give it to you. But apart from that, as far as midfielders go, he's one of the top ones in the league.
But he's-
And he's a fucking,
But Margs, no
a
one
very
said that.
important
Margs,
cog
no
in a
one
well-oiled
said
City
that.
machine.
No one said that.
You get me?
No one ain't saying
in
that.
his career. That's
Marks,
what
I
I'm
swear
saying.
to you, I was on a train, I think with Tego and Steve-O, traveling to Stoke, and he was on there
He
by
was.
himself.
He was.
He's
He
a
was.
loner.
I was on the
Don't
train-
be rating this guy.
I was on the train.
It was you.
It was me.
Did you clock him?
I clocked the ballers, and he went to
Dickhead, I don't remember.
Listen, Fernandino starts for every team in the Premier League.
Don't do that.
Definitely.
Yeah, the fact he plays centre back and the fact that he's a bit older, I don't know. He is top 10, isn't
One
he?
second.
I didn't put him top
One
10,
second.
but
Yeah, I didn't
Wait, one
either.
second.
But he,
Does he even start for Brazil? No. He doesn't even start for Brazil. Bro, World
Casemiro's
Cup.
a real bad boy.
Yeah,
That's like a,
Casemiro's
That's
a
not my-
guy.
that's not
he's
my fault.
probably he's top 2
That's not my fault.
DMs on the planet.
That's
fine.
So it's like
Casemiro's a
he's
guy.
starting regardless of his nationality. So that's you can't really blame.
So he should be in the top 10. That's my opinion.
But Casemiro don't play in the Premier League.
No, I'm just saying it. Like that's.
Then give an observation of someone that plays in a similar position
Why
to
should-
Fernandinho in the Premier League.
Fabinho.
Huh? You answering for me?
Fabinho ended up 12th.
What?
And 7 years in the Premier League, is that what we're talking about here?
Oh, he's been here for 7 years.
He's just good. He's very good at listening to coaches. I'll give him that. That's
I think he's a good footballer. I just think
He can play. He can play.
He's intelligent. Very
You get
intelligent.
me, fam?
Mentally strong.
And he makes fouls
get
when
me?
he's meant to make fouls.
Too many
He's
fouls.
just a good
But
footballer.
when he's meant to make them, though.
He does the thing. There was a point where I think his decision making was a bit nuts. Like he do some crazy things like in the beginning.
When he
But
beat up
for-
Fabregas.
From he become like holding and he understood like the importance of his role.
Do you know what it is? I can't forgive
Different.
a player that I haven't seen do an interview after a game. I've never seen him talk.
All right. Number 9 on the list. And yeah, I'm not happy with this one. Even though he's a good player, obviously. There is no good, bad players in this list.
My list is-
Gini Wijnaldum.
Oh,
He
way
didn't make-
higher than that.
Didn't make my
Way
list.
higher than
Didn't make my list.
What?
He made my list. I had it. He had my list, but I had him at 8th.
Yeah,
that. Man, high.
Didn't make my list.
You wanted just Liverpool midfielders in this list, isn't it?
Liverpool's midfield is no one can deal with it. Who can
think
deal with
Gini
it?
I think-
How can they not be the best?
I just really think that a lot of
Their
the individuals
midfield
can
three
be
is in the top 10
upgraded.
for me. Their midfield three is in the top 10.
I think he's replaceable at that Liverpool midfield. I think he take him out and put someone else in there.
Brother,
They could do the same
On
job.
the box-to-box thing.
I'm not saying he ain't good, Lippy, but I don't
like-
think he's top 10 in the league.
Definitely.
I don't think he's top 10 in the league. I
He's
think
part
he's
of a
more
team
than...
that's got 90-something points. Like,
I
they
need
won
to
the
hear
Champions
who's better
League.
than
He
him,
has
bro.
to be
I
there.
need to hear the players that's better than
But I just think he's
I'm gonna
replaceable.
I'm gonna ask you if Liverpool had these man. That's
You're
better
gonna-
than
you're gonna
him,
be so
would
mad
they
at the
be
next
doing
player.
this?
You're gonna
That's
be
what
so
I'm
mad
saying,
at the
like,
next
dude.
player.
This is mad because Gini starts for Arsenal, but Ceballos is 10th. So that's confusing. Gini 100% starts for Arsenal.
Well,
100%.
Gini compared to Ceballos.
Yeah, but
is
the reason why I put
devastating.
Ceballos is because what Ceballos has done for us in a small
we
period of
had
time.
Gini's been proper in the Premier League.
Yeah, but he's in like
Do you know
we
what
said, he's in
them
the
man they
system
put
though.
in on the
It's
pitch,
like he's
bro?
in the system.
No,
man
but
that
he was
does
doing it at
things.
Newcastle.
No,
And before that, when
yeah, but he was obviously he's been doing that at Newcastle. I'm not saying he's not a good player.
We're not gonna say Holland because Holland he was at number 10. I can't
he was
forgive
still
him.
a player.
They moved him. They moved him
always
down.
been
No,
a
but he was
good
doing it.
baller.
He was still playing.
I'm
well.
not saying he's
He
not
got
a good
moved
player.
to
I just think he's
Newcastle.
replaceable. I don't think he's that.
And he
he's
was
that
playing
impactful.
further
I
up
don't
the
think
pitch at
he is.
Newcastle and slamming goals, so you can do it.
So, did Newcastle get relegated when he was there, or Didn't you guys get relegated when he was there?
Yeah.
They got relegated. So he's come from a relegated side, gone into Liverpool and been one of the most integral players there. Like, he is a baller, bro. I don't even know how many other players go from a relegated club to a club and win Champions League and Premier League. I don't know too many players that do that. Obviously, there'll be a few. Shaqiri.
He's dirty.
Oh, sorry, the Ray.
It's Klopp, though, isn't it? Klopp in the system. That's what I think it is.
This is the thing about these kind of players, like for me.
He can fit in there.
They don't make me stand up and
Yeah, but he
put,
does his thing for Holland as well. He's not quiet for Holland.
He's not a get out of your seat kind of player.
Yeah, he's not.
He ain't, but it's for what a box to box is meant to do. You're not gonna see that a lot of the time in England. We don't have Iniestas and just guys and you're just playing two playmakers off the pivot and they're just spraying. They gotta get their hands dirty a little bit.
He's quality. He's a quality player.
Stop running that.
Okay, Jordy, if you take out Wijnaldum and you put in someone like Fred in that Liverpool team, I don't think he crumbles.
Fuck are you talking?
No,
What? After Barcelona, you come off the bench.
Yeah.
Have you seen Fred's numbers?
You're
Have you seen Fred's numbers?
You're talking. You're talking,
Man United.
bro.
Fred.
You're
Fred Man United. Fred
talking.
could get to that Liverpool team.
Wait, sorry to cut you, yeah. You see what he's
not
saying,
mad, I'm not
yeah?
mad.
What he's
It's a
saying.
workhorse still. It's a workhorse
I'm not
still.
mad. I'm not mad.
Margs got to land it.
It's mad.
You see, because the system is so important at Liverpool and the way they play and the way Klopp sets them up, yeah. Like a lot of midfielders, you can plug them into that midfield,
Not Fred, though.
and they do their thing.
Not Fred.
What
What's Fred done?
Why not Fred?
Come on, Fred.
Why not Fred?
Who are the midfielders that you could put in that system and he could run?
I'm
that?
just saying a lot of
I'm
midfielders
not
you can
gonna
play
lie. I
in
say
there.
you could put maybe a Ramsey in there.
Yeah, I agree.
You could put Fred in there. Fred
can
does
put
the
Fred in
same thing.
there.
He's
You can put Fred in that Liverpool midfield.
Turnovers.
Can you put Fred in Gigi when I was finishing? No.
It's as simple as this. You see, my thing, for this whole system thing
Fred's
that we
got
keep going
turnovers,
to,
one of the best in
is
Europe.
Klopp plays this system because of the players he has. It's not like he had a system and then said, cool, I got this system. You could be the guy to be this guy in the system. It's no, you do this. Therefore, our system is this, bro. That's how it is, fam. They have Henderson. Let's put it this way. I know we'll probably talk about him later on, whether he's in the list or not. You get me? But he's, for me, before guys like Ginny was around for Liverpool, guys like Henderson was a write-off for me. You couldn't chat to me about him. He was like the reason why Liverpool came 8th in that for man. But just because he has guys like that around him, bro, he's looking like a madness.
No, I think Fred could play that.
He's looking
mad.
But you're not saying what Fred does because what?
He can play.
You will be significantly
Listen,
better.
he could play in that midfield, but not for Wijnaldum.
No way.
He ain't transitioning the ball like Wijnaldum.
No way, bro. Wijnaldum getting important goals in that.
No, he can play. I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying he's so shit.
Stuff, bro. Like, you know them.
Everything you said was perfect. I'm just saying, if you take Wijnaldum out of that system, I don't think he's that much. I don't think he's that impactful in that
He's a
midfield.
passenger in that Man United team. He can be replaced. Wijnaldum is not a passenger.
No way.
There are no passengers in the Liverpool team. That's why they're the Premier League champions. But that is not to say that position could not be upgraded.
No, every position can be upgraded, but not by Fred.
If we're talking
Not by Fred. No.
We're talking
Nah,
on
to
the
the player
European
like
world
Fred, I
level,
think you could
there's
go in.
Not by
other
Fred.
the
Just by
varieties.
Keeper goal.
You get me? But we're talking
You're saying,
England. There's not guys that do the better. I don't think there's a better box-to-box man.
You put Ceballos ahead of him, so I don't know what you're talking about.
No, don't.
I said that. from
No,
earlier,
you can't say
man.
what I'm talking about. I'm saying the only reason why I put Ceballos in there is because what he's done for Arsenal in a short period of time. He's one of the players other than Xhaka. Xhaka is the holding midfielder. He's the one who turns on the pivot and brings the ball out forward
Liverpool
for us.
got 99 points.
No
We've all
one
agreed
does that.
Gini's not
Other
a
than
flying
Ceballos is
passenger.
doing.
They're not
Before Ceballos, who was our player that was
99
creating players?
I think Ceballos is a very good footballer, innit? Again, if we're talking ability alone, he's
player.
entering ranks, innit?
Good player.
But
He's a
again,
good player.
Football, I know it sounds crazy.
I'm saying for what he's done for
football
our
is
club.
more than your ability, like your core, like how good you are at
Yeah, of
dribbling.
course.
and
But-
shooting.
of course.
It's
That's why I love Jeff Hendrick for Burnley. Why are you laughing?
No, because you're the only person who voted for him. You made me add him to the
So
list.
wait. So 1 second. Is this show about just the top half players?
No.
Right. So
It's about
Well, obviously
the
not. We
top
brought up
10.
Ceballos.
he's Irish.
You're on it.
No, seriously. Jeff Hendrick is a player.
You're one of them.
186 centimeters. I'm telling you now. And he's a box to box. But you don't care.
Miles,
Okay, cool.
you can withdraw your Ceballos pick.
No,
But no, let me give you.
Ceballos is a howler. You know why?
No, it's not a howler for me.
Because he's not even a box to box.
Here's why it's a howler that you can withdraw.
Okay, go on.
The only other person to vote for him was Boat.
Okay, well done, Bo.
Ginny is an engine in your attack almost. He will carry that ball, bro.
Also, it's just so
many
he's
times.
so good in every way as a midfielder. Like he might not be the best at everything, but he's good in.
He's like a jack of all
technically good.
trades.
He's got finish. He's got
technically
web.
good. Do you know what?
He's dope. He can break up play. He's good in transition. He can play that final pass. He
And
can
Mark, do you
do.
know one thing we don't really talk about here because we don't know? It's because one thing,
running.
that Liverpool system, you actually have to be very, very good at taking instructions. And that's one thing I think that is just so undervalued in
He's one
football.
of them.
What the
His
fuck is
ability
this?
to take instructions.
What the fuck is this?
Liverpool got 99 points, fam.
Fuck is this?
Undervalue him.
If you look
Because he listens to instructions. We're talking about top 10 midfielders.
Brother,
This is school.
Specs.
This is school.
Specs.
No, I've read about all of you guys.
Specs. There are so many good footballers.
1, 3, 7, 8, 9. I've read about all of you guys.
Specs. There are so many good footballers here, and I'm like, you're mentally, your head's gone, fam. You don't even do what's required. And Gigi always does what's required.
All right.
Always.
So you know what I've understood from this
But
conversation?
1 season, like 2 seasons, 3 seasons.
You guys like athletics.
the top half of my top 5, we will see what kind of midfielders I prefer. You get me? But this is it.
Where is he on the list? 8th.
And that's ridiculous.
Ninth.
Oh, he's
Lippy.
ninth.
If
Where did I put him?
Liverpool had the 9th best centre midfielder in their team, their midfield's not
Lippy,
doing
he's
what it's
better
doing.
off the ball than on the ball.
I had him 8th.
I put him 8th.
Hey, Margs, Gigi is better off the ball than on the ball, and he's going to be in my
I
top 10
don't know, man.
midfielders.
He's very good on
Ooh,
the ball.
I like that. I like
but
that.
he's very good on the ball, though.
He's good on the ball.
So that
But
just
he is good on the
complements
ball.
his off the ball
Technically,
play.
he's-
This is
technically,
why
he's
I
good on the
say
ball.
he's good
better
on the ball.
off the ball.
All right, let's
But is that- why is that though?
let's pick a few teams
He's
then.
Black
Let's
Ramsey,
Fred
bro.
is better on the ball.
let's
He's
pick.
Black Ramsey.
Oh,
He is, bro. No,
One
he
second,
does
stop.
not.
Because the way Klopp's playing him, yeah, and the stuff that Klopp's got him doing, you are forgetting what he's actually capable of. And this is what that's what I truly believe. Donny is a baller. He is dope. He'll get you goals in that.
but my thing with Wijnaldum is if you put him on, I don't know, Real Madrid, if you put him on Man City, if you put him on Bayern Munich, is he this Gino Wijnaldum?
I think he'll do bits.
You reckon?
Well, he's
Nah.
ninth in the Premier League. I think he's probably
one,
gonna
get
be
lost,
position.
bro.
One, if you see him out of the Premiership,
get lost.
he'll have a lot less defensive responsibility, and you'll just see him play, bro. Again, if you play for Bayern in Germany, you got about 3 hard fixtures a season. Real, same thing.
It's a crowded midfield though.
It is. That's the one thing that will give him problems because he's not better than who's there.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So he'll play less football. So that's where.
What about Man City?
You can never play
Same
Man City.
thing. I'll be
You're not
honest.
saying
Same
He's
thing.
not Man
We're
City.
saying he's
No,
ninth
same
though.
thing,
He's
same
ninth.
thing,
He's
T.
not top 3 or top
He will
5.
play less football at places like City, and
get
that's
my top
why
10.
you won't see him do. But again, thank God he's at Liverpool. Then
We're going to move on to number 8.
Yes. Go
And
on.
Specs can do this one on his own because Specs had him as number 1.
I had Jack Grealish. I'm going to tell you why. Again, you guys all care about upstairs. You know when you go to the sweet shop and you see Lulu? That's what you lot are looking at. I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at the thesaurus, the colouring books. Jack Grealish in the Championship was doing his thing. He come and carried his team and they
I'm gonna stop you,
wait,
bro.
no, don't stop.
Please,
Bro,
please.
this is my ends. Your ends is far away. You can't stop me. Hear what I'm saying to you, Lippy. The guy saved this team from relegation single-handedly. What can you say?
this is what I
What
wanna
can you say?
This is what I want to say. You told me a man.
When was this?
You just told me just
Oh, okay,
now.
okay.
You told me that a man is the
touching-
best
stop- get off,
midfielder
get off me.
in the Premier League, and you mentioned Championship, bro.
Yeah.
My brother.
He's not supposed to be doing
I
this.
can't explain to you the level, like, no disrespect to Championship footballers.
No, you
professional
disrespected
footballers-
them.
No, professional footballers are professional footballers.
Okay.
But the level, the difference in class between the Prem and the Championship is crazy.
He's
bro.
shown mad quality in the
Grealish
Premier
is better
League
than
though.
Kevin De
He
Bruyne.
has.
You hear my point?
No, but
he's not
Tego,
supposed to be
Tego.
showing this quality.
Grealish
He
is
coming from
better than
Liverpool.
Kevin De
Well,
Bruyne.
he came from the Premier League to the Championship to the Premier League.
It's my preference, yes.
Jack Grealish, quality footballer. He just said he's the best centre midfielder.
Pause. He's
in
better.
the
Wait,
league.
is it
So when you
preference
say
or is
that,
he better?
You make him look meaty, bro.
Nah,
you
me ask
have
you a
to
question.
speak about him like he's
Lippy,
meaty now.
Lippy, let me tell you something.
I could give you a.
Yeah.
I could give you a. Maybe even a 15. That's better than him, bro.
You know what?
Come on.
How many man had him on their top 10 list?
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That's crazy.
7 people.
7 man.
That's
Marks,
nuts.
let me ask you a question. All these players we've spoken about before Jack Grealish, put them in the Villa side. What are they doing?
But that's not how you rate.
I have to.
No, you're
I
right.
have to,
No,
Lippy.
you're right. Because I hate when it draws into this storytelling thing of Championship and you know he's Dutch. Whatever.
You're giving me Player of the Year.
Jack Grealish has had an amazing season, and when he went down to the Championship and Tottenham bid for him, and Villa said double it, and Tottenham said no. Tottenham should have doubled it. He should have been in Premier League last year in that Champions League run side. He's not the best in the league.
He scored. They're safe.
He also got
It's a big
deflected
deal.
on goal. He got deflected on goal that game as well.
Let me tell you what's mad.
Almost like an
It's
own
just,
goal. He
it's just my opinion, yeah. I rate Jack Grealish.
Baller.
I think he's very good. I think he's cold, top young talent, and whatever people want to pay for him, he's probably going to be worth it or just or thereabouts. There's 10 midfielders in the league better than him right now.
Because they're
now.
because they're playing with better players.
I don't have 10. I don't have 10.
I think it's simply for the fact that he's, stop me if I'm wrong, that he's played a season of Prem football. How long
No,
is it?
two.
Two seasons.
Two. There you go then.
That's not fair.
There you go.
So
What
that's
do you
it.
mean it's not fair?
It's that Stevo's going to be in the race. He's going to be in the race
ain't gonna
because
beat
he's
me in the
he's run with athletes and you've just
No.
raced your boys who were there
Listen,
and one of them sings. That's it. It's not fair.
He ain't over there.
He's not over there.
Oh, he's not there, okay.
Yeah,
I think
I think you'd have to reach.
Bro. Nah.
Go. All right.
Baller.
Yes,
I'm not
that's what I
gonna
wanted
lie.
to hear.
He's a
That's what I
baller.
wanted to hear. What? Talk about Jack Grealish, Jordy.
He's
Lippy.
a baller, and I think you'd have to reach to find 10 better.
When he's got the ball and he's looking to be creative, he looks for Wesley
John McGinn.
and Trezeguet.
1 second. Specs, look down the camera and just say it honestly. Is Jack Grealish better than Kevin De Bruyne?
Beloved.
But let's just talk about Jack Grealish as a player. Jordy, you had him what, 8th? You say 7th. I had him 7th.
I had him 8.
I just think I haven't seen someone with that level of quality
No socks.
in that bad of a team for a very long time.
I think we see
He's not going to be there for long.
That level of quality. I think he's ready
You know
to
how
make
you-
Champions
you know
League
how I
jump
make you right?
now.
You know how I make you right? Because the example I was about to give was years ago.
No, it's not years ago though.
Valencia,
Bro, it's not
them
years
man
ago.
there.
It's
It was
Gini
a long time
Wijnaldum.
ago.
Gini Wijnaldum's at Newcastle. They got fucking relegated. He's
still a
gone
while
to
ago.
Liverpool.
That's still a while ago.
But is it a while
Be
ago?
honest.
When did he move to Liverpool?
Gini
4 years ago.
Wijnaldum. Gini
That's
Wijnaldum.
still not recent though.
Gini-
He's the
My
last
Bro,
since then.
let's not
And
pretend we're old.
Newcastle had
It's
better
recent
players
for
than
us.
Villa had.
What's that?
Newcastle had better players when Wijnaldum went down.
Irrespective,
No, but that's
Newcastle-
my point.
But
Yeah,
Newcastle got,
definitely,
I hear you, but
definitely.
Newcastle got relegated.
Yeah,
That
but
Newcastle
no,
got
but-
relegated.
But be real, they're
Villa
way
didn't.
better than that Villa team.
Yeah.
Way better.
I know, I
and the
hate-
proof is, look how many of them left to go and
No,
do all
do
right.
you know what? You might be right, but I'm saying to you, whether they were better or not, at the end of the season, after 38 games, their man were not good enough to play Premier League
We're
football.
getting
So
mixed
Villa
up,
were
bro.
because of
It's-
Grealish.
it's not
Exactly.
facts
No, I
like
hear you.
that,
No,
bro.
I
Like,
don't
you
You
can't
can't understand.
say-
You lot rate you rated Wijnaldum the guy of the
do,
year,
I rate him
yeah?
highly.
And said he's a baller. But then we've got
Grealish
a
is a
player
baller.
that's got both and carries a weaker team.
No,
and you
Specs
don't
our
care.
problem.
No, but
Specs
then
our
you can
problem.
say
Specs, you
it's
made him
because
number
he's
one.
in-
That's the problem. That's the only problem. You made him number one.
Okay, tell me what number I should put him.
I don't know what number. I
For
don't
me,
know. You
for
made
me,
him number one.
for me,
Yeah, he's number one.
I know it might sound Specs. For me, it might sound alien, yeah. But for me, there's no way you can scrape relegation and have one of the best players in a position. That's fact.
You know why?
The way football
That's the
works.
media.
Even if you got the best right,
the media.
you do all right.
He's special though, and I think he could go to Man United. I think he could go to Liverpool. I think he could go to City. I think he could go to Arsenal.
He
I think
could.
he's
He
that
won't
level
be
of
better
ability.
than- He won't be better
That is simply
than De
because
Bruyne.
that's all them man that you said, yeah. Again, he'll go to United. He won't be better than Pogba.
I watched that
Yeah?
game that we
He
played
won't
against
be-
him and looking at him thinking, we don't really need you.
No,
No, he's a baller.
You know
No.
what it is? You know what you
That's
lot are
because of the
gassed
team
off.
he
You
was
lot are
playing.
gassed off.
He had a better
his
team than
end
them.
product and the final
say that,
third
Marks.
things, bro. There's
That's
more
not
than
the
that when
level.
you're a midfielder,
Yeah,
bro. It's I know
It's
it
Villa
sounds
versus
mad, innit? But it's the truth, innit? And I get it. Villa, I couldn't. If you told me to name me the Villa starting 11, I'll struggle.
It's hard.
You get me?
Not
And
easy.
it's because you get me? Because their team's bad.
I
innit?
just like the fact that, like, for example, against United, back in the day when Villa used to go Old Trafford, they used to get thumped. This guy is gone, and the goal against at Old Trafford
make you-
for
The first
Aston.
game, the last
Lippy,
game, he never
for
done nothing.
Aston-
The last game, he never done nothing at all.
But Marks,
Bro,
Marks,
the night-
Marks,
don't
care
Grealish,
about
no,
after
but
COVID.
Grealish is too good for Aston Villa. He's so good,
He
they
is,
put
he
him in
is, he is.
positions
People have been on
that
lockdown.
he
You're
won't
talking about
play.
last game. I'm
The
talking
last
before.
game,
He won't play
Villa
at a
played
big
against
club.
United, he done
Before the
nothing.
world
No,
went
Marks,
upside
Marks,
down.
Marks. You see half of the responsibilities he has at Aston Villa. If he goes to a bigger club, he won't have them responsibilities.
you, but
So we can
let's-
focus on his
And
game, and you will see how good this boy
the
is.
number of fouls he's drawn, I think
Amazing.
he's drawn the most fouls in the Premier League this
He's
year.
amazing.
That speaks to if you play Villa,
No, he's
if you
a
play
baller.
Villa, you double up on Grealish, just kick him about a
For
bit.
me,
He can't
yeah.
make things happen,
Nah,
and
you're
Villa
right,
are done.
You're right, Tego. Because where you're right with he's the best player in a shit team in a long time. In a lot of the cases, in most cases, when you get a player that's good that played for the team that comes 16th, 17th, their step up is to now go to a mid-table team like an Everton or something.
Although
With
Wijnaldum-
Grealish, that's not the point.
Yeah.
That's not the case, innit? He's even Everton. He's too good for them. You understand?
I'm happy.
So-
I'm happy you said that.
No, I'll tell you straight.
happy you
He's
said
ready for the
Top
top
six.
Yeah.
Champions
He's
League.
one of the better English
Champions
players.
League.
Yeah.
If we're not talking about midfield or if we're talking about English players in general,
And because
he's
of that,
one of the better ones.
because of that, Lippy, can he be my number one?
Nah.
I don't think so.
What do you mean no?
No way. That's crazy.
You're No way, that's
even if you told me he's top 5, he's not even in my top 10. But I get it.
Lippy,
That's
do you hear what
not-
he said?
What?
Can he be my number one? Now, you know Specs very well. For me, he can be Specs' number one.
Nah, I hear you. Yeah.
He can be Specs' number
For you,
one.
he could be
100%.
your number one.
You're talking like sectioned or something.
No, it's just
You're moving
I
like a
get it.
section.
What you like, the shit that you're into, Not like that. But
Bottom 10.
The kind of shit that you're into,
What?
footballing wise.
Bottom shelf.
You like Grealish.
All right, Specs, how
like
much
Grealish.
does his hair come into your thinking?
Oh, you know.
And his socks and red tape. That's what he likes. It's the image. It's the
Bro,
image.
bro,
So
see,
it's
you see us.
Are you saying you're basically saying he's a situation?
Yeah.
No, not even that. As a player, yeah, when I saw Haleb kick ball,
That's a baller though, man.
I see
What are you gonna say?
signs of Haleb when I look at JG. Beloved.
I like Grealish. I like Grealish. He's on number 9, but that is majorly.
You know why?
I hear him,
You
I'm
know why?
sorry,
I'm not
I
trying to
hear
go
him.
off topic, but Grealish will let it spray. He'll cross it, shoot something. Hleb, no.
You can do that.
No,
I know,
Kleb
but
had no mid-range
Grealish-
pass whatsoever. All right, so Grealish is on number 8. I'll be honest, it's heavily carried by a number 1 pick. Without a number 1 pick, he
got
probably
him in
doesn't
there.
make the
Yeah,
top
you got him in
10.
there.
But I'm glad he did, and Jordy's glad he did. And
But he was always in there
Greg and
without his
Felix are glad, and Skitz is glad. So, and Miles is glad. So we're all glad, apart from everyone else here.
Dragged him.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. So no one else had him in their top 10.
Yeah, they did, but that's not. You need more than that. Number 7 in our list, and I'm a little bit disappointed he's this low.
Yes.
Because I think I started to figure him out a few months ago, and I think he's unbelievable. Mateo Kovacich.
He's higher than that. Henderson is 7th on my
alright
list.
with that, but he's class. I hear you.
I've started to see him looking like he could be the best midfielder in the league next year.
No, let me
I put
tell
him
you why.
6th.
I know I'm chatting a lot this episode.
What the
bro.
fuck, man?
But it's as simple as this. Last
get
match
that
I
far.
seen him play.
Oh, yeah,
I
100%.
didn't watch the Champions League. I watched him play against us in the final. And he done what's wrong with him. You understand?
Right.
Because he's not mobile. He's the kind of player, if you put him in like a City, a team where most matches, they're in favour of winning, Kovacic is going to look like a Dan. But if you put him in like a Chelsea, where every 3-4 games it's going to be hard, regardless of who you're playing against, he's going to start to, his mind gets tired. He
Lippy,
start
I
to get
slightly disagree
dirty.
though, because when he got the ball against Arsenal, he was playing balls over the top that were getting
hear
to
you,
Alonso on the
bro.
left-hand side,
I
and we
hear
were
you.
getting
But
punished.
this is my thing,
Anyone in
innit?
the midfield that got
I hear
the
you,
ball,
innit?
his forward passes
I
are
hear you,
problems.
bro, but I judge every footballer, even down to the striker, with what they do when they're not in possession. Every footballer. You understand? And what he, put it this way, who a guy that I hope does not make the top 10, I hope he don't, Jorginho, because he's the epitome of that for me.
Yeah,
Off the
I
ball,
didn't
he
vote for
does
Jorginho.
nothing.
No.
It's like you got 10 men. When we that Chelsea match, the FA Cup final, you see when I saw we had Chelsea, I knew it, bro. I knew it. I was like, Jorginho, bro. So whoever we put in that centre mid, he's gonna work harder than him. He's gonna be stronger than him. He's gonna get to every ball fast, quicker than him. He's gonna make it hard for him when he's on the ball. This is a sport, bro. This is a man's game. This is a contact sport. You could be a Xavi and that in Barcelona in Spain, but if you leave them settings, you need something about you. And Kovacic, don't get it twisted, he's not that bad, but for me, he's that end of the spectrum. You understand?
I disagree. I think the way he drops shoulders, the way he makes space, like he's got power, but he's also just got that little bit of quality. I just think I think what you look at Chelsea's midfield and you talk about Mason Mount, Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic. I didn't see it first half of the season. Honestly, I didn't see it. But the more I saw Chelsea, and I'm looking at Mason Mount, I'm looking at the young English player, thinking, let's see what he's about. I'm looking at Jorginho going, everyone keeps telling me he was all right last year, now he's turned it around. And I'm looking at Kante and everyone's going, he's not a DM anymore, look what he's doing. And I'm missing Kovacic. Second half of the season, I start paying attention to Kovacic, and I'm seeing this guy who, again, transitions the ball with a level of quality, a level of control. He makes players miss like Paul Pogba makes players miss, just shifts the ball. And he makes two players out of position. He opens up space. I think with a good defensive pivot, I just think I look at him and I think if they get the midfield right, yeah, you put him 10th.
But you know,
I'm not sure. I'm still not sure about him though, because I remember his debut against Arsenal was mad. He killed us.
Let me tell you
Inside
something.
killed
No, he
us.
is someone.
Oh, what? Yeah, the other thing.
He is
The
someone.
debut against Arsenal, he killed us.
He is someone that I would
FA Cup,
say,
he killed him.
fam, it depends how he wakes up.
at Inter Milan, he was this good. He went to Real Madrid, dropped off. And now he's slowly come back. It's just
Lack
like,
of
I don't
play
feel like
time,
you,
though,
I hear that, but where are you going?
No, I
That's the
hear
thing, where
you.
you
No,
going?
but you know what? It's
You did this
hard
3
when
years
you
ago
come in like
at Inter
that,
Milan.
though.
That's
No,
not
because
fair.
you know what it is?
Why is it not
Because
fair?
Mo Salah.
That's not fair.
No,
Why is it not fair?
No, let
It's
me
Mo
tell you why it's
Salah.
not fair. 'cause
Real
you-
Madrid is mad.
Mo
Let me
Salah
tell
did
you
the
why
same
it's
thing.
not fair. Let me tell you why it's
I
not
hear
fair.
that, but I'm seeing the Inter Kovacic.
He probably,
which is nothing, it's not new to me.
He probably had that in him at Madrid.
Nah, but
No,
that's
just
fine.
get the game.
Specs, you know what it is? Look at on the flip side. Look what you just said about your number one. He's come from.
Whoa.
No, but listen,
It's not the same.
but it is though, because you've given him the fact that he's number one for the fact that he's come from the bottom. My man started up here. Inter Milan, you understand?
Yeah.
He has.
Dynamo.
About him,
Dynamo.
Oh, but from I've known about him, 10 minutes later, he's a Real Madrid player. So it's like, cool, let me see what you got now. But at the same time, they got Isco, Modric.
Yeah, I heard that.
Casemiro.
And do you know what?
So all I'm saying to you is got to do more.
The Inter Milan side had bare man from the Balkans. Bare man from the Balkans. So when they
And
linked
also,
up, it was calm. You go Real Madrid.
sometimes getting sold by these teams is not about whether or not you can break in. It's about whether or not, if I sell Modric, am I going to get enough money to do my business? No. Who's the only player I can sell to get the money to do the business? It's Kovacic. So I wouldn't look at leaving Real Madrid. He's Chelsea own him, yeah.
Yeah. So and guys like, you know how Real are, innit? They don't things like what they're doing with Modric. That's rare, innit? They'll get as soon as a guy reaches past his peak, they get you out of there. Yeah. But Luka, he just kept up with it. So they just thought, you know what, Kovacic.
Also, he's not worth that money on the market. So what's the point selling him? He's worth more to us here than he is sold.
Yeah. Kovacic, we can get 50 mil for. We can't
Exactly.
get Modric.
Exactly.
Modric, stay here.
But no, I do like him. I do like him.
With 100 million minimum.
I'm talking.
What's the point when you got him there?
I'm talking like I'm projecting for him to have a big season next year. I have him 6th here, so that's one place below where I have him.
That's what he needs to be in this
I
conversation.
think he had a big season this season. I just don't think people realised it. They're looking at Chelsea's midfield. Which one of them had the great season? Was it Kante? Was it Mount? Was it Jorginho? It was Kovacic.
It was him. It was him because Kante and that dropped off. That's why.
Exactly. But it was him. But it was him. But he had to carry it.
He stepped up. Yeah, he had to. He had to step up. You can't say because they dropped
the
off.
midfielders in Chelsea's midfield are so similar. I'm very interested to see after the transfer market what midfield starts from Frank Lampard because I know he loves Mount.
He'll start.
But he improves most teams.
He has to start.
They're not getting a central midfielder.
I don't think so. But the rumour was they were going to get rid of Jorginho and send him to Juventus, but then Juventus changed manager. Sarri's gone, so we don't think that's going to happen.
They're looking to get Rice.
Number 6 on the list is the certified, no one's ever going to deny it ever again, best captain in Liverpool history, Jordan Henderson.
Yeah, couple years ago, right off. You could not chat to me about that.
No, me for. No way.
I was like, Jordan
He's worked his
Henderson.
way back into it.
But you see
He's
him.
not on my list.
You know what it is? Maybe it's Klopp, who knows, innit? But
It is close.
I think he just clocked, you know what, I'm not on that. All this things that I'm trying to do, I'm not on that, man. I'm just going to do what I'm on.
This guy's so selfless.
I'm going to say this, yeah.
The way he does for his left back.
I'm going to say this, yeah. With what he's done this year and what he's done for the Liverpool team and just the run that he's been on in the last, I don't know, year, 18 months or whatever, he is very good and he deserves Player of the Year shouts and stuff like that as well.
100%, man.
But he didn't make my list.
Yep.
Nah, man, he has to, man.
Thank you.
For me, there's
He
not
only
a lot
made it
of
to
he
10
has
for
to
me.
make the list.
He only made it
There's-
up to
there's-
10.
Because what he's done for
For
Liverpool
me,
is
there's
more,
not a lot
like
of
you said,
players.
he's influential.
Obviously, we talk about the world, then yeah, there's a lot. But for me, in the league, I don't think there's a lot of players that Liverpool could have replaced him with for them to do what they did. Because he's just he does what he does.
Of course, like you say, he's got no tech. Jordy, yeah, technically, he's not the best out of the midfielders that we've mentioned. I don't think he is. I don't think he's top 10. He's not technically great. But if you take him out of that Liverpool team instead of, like I said, Ronaldo, it crumbles.
The thing is, this
It
technical
does crumble. It does crumble.
I appreciate that. I just don't.
I think it
Jordan
crumbles.
Henderson.
Well, why don't you like? Out of curiosity, why don't you like him, Jordy?
I think he's got no tech. He's playing.
You can't
nice.
say he's got no tech.
But
He's just not special.
Nothing wrong with playing right.
He's just not special. He's just not. He's not gonna do.
I know guys that are not special that I like.
He understands his teammates and what they do. Yeah, and for me, for the role he plays, that's how you be the best at.
You lot sound like you're rating Jordan Henderson the man.
No, but Jordy, you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have no application, who cares, sir?
Consistency is underrated.
Henderson's better than Pogba.
Consistency is
I'm gonna
underrated.
cause an argument.
Why are you fam?
I'm gonna
You
cause
know
an
Henderson's
argument.
better than Pogba.
I'm gonna cause an argument. He was like Roy Keane for them, man, innit? Nothing special, but without him, they
Whoa,
would-
whoa, 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 no, stop. Don't, no, stop it.
Hey, Lippy.
Stop it.
Hey, Lippy.
Stop it.
Lippy.
Stop it. Stop
You know, am I right or wrong?
I'm with
Roy
you.
Keane's nothing special.
Roy Keane,
I'm with you.
individually, not the greatest.
Never.
But United without him, they wouldn't have been them.
Yeah,
That's a compliment.
You've never even seen him play for Forest. You don't even know.
What's going on here?
You know what it is? I've never seen him play for Forest, but I've seen him play enough for Man United to know that statement can't
Do
run.
you know what kind of footballer you have to be to back out them kind of reasons? To say you're the coldest. You ain't seen him play for. You ain't seen him play for Plymouth Argyle.
I don't know.
He was on some shit them
Yeah, I
day
don't
on
know,
a
I don't
Wednesday.
know, I don't know,
bro.
I don't know.
Like I say, I watch what goes on the pitch. I see what a man can do over his career. Yeah, I'll give it to you. A guy like Roy
Lippy,
Keane.
he's bossed Juventus.
Who-
He's bossed games.
Who? Nah,
Roy
one
Keane-
thing. I'm 28, innit? I'm not an 80.
All right, the 3-2 winning, to 3-2 win in Turin. Did Roy
By
Keane
the
not
time I
boss that
started to
game?
understand football, yeah, like fully had a full understanding of football, I'll say I was about 12, 13, and I'm not going to lie and say I was 6, knowing what's going on. So by that time, it was towards the end of Roy Keane's career. I'll accept that,
Fair enough.
innit? But
Celtic days or Man United days?
both, innit? Really, like, you know them ones. But again, a Roy Keane is not as bad as Henderson. Don't get it twisted. I think Henderson is like the bare minimum of what we're talking about, innit?
Oh, come on, man.
No,
Nah, he
stop
is.
that.
Greatest ever captain, Liverpool history.
I said what I said about Roy Keane, but how can I not say he's even top 5 centre midfielders in the league?
But I get you.
Because
I
I'm
get what you're saying
it's
about
not
Roy Keane, but
it's not about your pure
it's
ability.
mean,
It's when you mix that in with everything else, bro. It's what can you do?
That's
Compare
why
him
it says
to Ray Parlour then.
application.
Compare him to Ray Parlour.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Can't not rate Parlour.
Compare him to Ray Parlour.
Who? Roy Keane?
No, Henderson.
Oh, phew.
That's what I thought you was
Lippy.
talking about Roy Keane and Ray
Go on,
Parlour.
now,
Roy
He's
Keane's better than.
You don't rate Parlour.
He,
Romford Pele, shut up.
All right, no,
Stop.
we're too far off track now.
Yeah,
But
Jordan
Henderson-
Henderson is number 6. I had him number 10. The only people who didn't vote for Henderson at all were Margs, Dan, and Jordy.
I was about
I
to
know
switch
Dan
up.
did Dan have Mount in there?
real one.
Yeah.
Say no more. Dan, that's
See,
why
that's
you're not
done,
here.
it's
You're not
done.
on the episode, mate.
Number 5 on the list, and this is, I put a question mark next to his name because he plays in a couple positions, is
Number 5.
Bernardo Silva.
Oh, I thought it was Dan.
What is this, guys, man? We're better than this, man.
Number 5.
We're better than this. We're better than this, man.
So you think Grealish is better than
I
Bernardo
don't think
Silva?
Bernardo Silva should be in this list. He's not.
What? Oh,
Why? Because he's not good enough, or because he's not a
no,
centre
he's
midfielder?
not. I'll tell you why. Go on.
Position, he's not.
It's just for me. For me, he's an inside forward, man.
Oh, then I'll
I
give you
tend
that.
to
I'll
agree,
give you
yeah.
that.
He's not on my list. Yeah, he's not on my list.
I'll give you that. If that I don't agree with you, but if that's what you're saying,
His name came up in other people's votes, and I was like, I've got to put him in there. I've got to put a question mark next to it so that anyone can challenge it. No one did.
I'm not even sure what position he really is, but for me, if he's on the list, he goes in, and that's.
Do you know what? It's because for me, the reasons why I put him like on the list for me is just because of the way we've spoken about football.
Let me say something.
One second, Lippy.
Yeah.
I understand you want to say something. 1 second, brother.
hold hands.
You see the position, yeah? When you look at the team sheet, you'd be very ignorant to go, he's playing right wing, so he's right wing. But my man's in the middle of the park all the time, so I've just got to look at it and say, do you know what, brother? If you're in the middle of the park all the time, how effective are you?
This is what-
Bernardo
You wanna do
Silva
that?
is so
You wanna do that?
good.
Let
Like,
me
Bernardo
edit
Silva
my
should
list
play
then.
midfield.
Let me edit my list and put Lacazette in there.
Nah,
Go on then.
no, but
Lacazette
listen.
is always in the middle of the
No,
pitch.
Then go on then.
Shit,
And then
though.
But listen,
will Lacazette be top 10? Will Lacazette be top 10?
It don't make
It's
top
up to
10.
me.
No,
You
listen,
never know.
listen.
Did you make him
Let me
top-
study me. You
Would
never
you
know.
make him top 10?
Out of the worst players ever, of course.
Cool. But this is my thing, yeah? He didn't get into my top 10 for the reason you said. But on the flip side, I wouldn't put him in a list of right wingers.
No, that's the problem.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
I'll tell you what then. I've got a position for you. Tokostra.
Trequartista.
Trequartista. Yeah, they're
That's
kind
what he
of.
is.
FM.
But what are they then? Are they? What do you
They're
put
guys
them with
that
the
just- they
forwards
just-
or kind of
They're
10s?
space invaders.
Space invaders.
But
This is
no,
pure
but you know
football
what it
manager
is?
terminology.
For me, they get overlooked then. Because it's kind of like, you can't really judge them as a midfielder. You can't, if
But you
you're
can.
gonna
We could do a show. We could do a
They
show
are
like this,
the
you know?
David
I wouldn't
Silva.
watch it.
They're going
Space
to end
invaders.
up playing that
not
position.
a Trequartista though.
No, forget him. I'm talking about Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva at some point.
It's not a player, it's a role, bro.
I forget. Bernardo Silva
must
is
have
going
got
to
him.
forget him. Bernardo Silva, forget whoever that is. Bernardo Silva is going to play centre midfield at some point.
I feel like it's probably next year.
Yeah, he's going to play at some point.
All right. So are you
So
saying because he's going to
Forget
play
if he
there
plays for
tomorrow?
Argentina.
Yeah.
But-
He should be in the top 10 now.
But you mentioned
No, that's what he is, though, isn't it?
You
Like, he just
mentioned
moved there to accommodate Man City's thing. It's almost like Aubameyang. Like I saw someone say
even
to
if-
me, he's one of the. Don said to me, Aubameyang's one of the best left wingers in the Premier League, and I said, well, Arteta's played him there, but traditionally
Isn't
he's
playing
centre
him there,
forward.
really.
Specs, you
He's a
said
centre forward.
you have a very valid point with that Trequartista shit. Because it's like, there's a lot of players, even in history, when you are ranking the top whatever, you'll just miss these guys out. Because it's like, hold on, what position do they play? Because if I'm rating Bernardo Silva as a centre mid, I'm putting him above anyone we've just said.
might be the
If we're
short
being
term.
honest.
Yeah.
That's the
you
thing.
understand?
That's the
But
thing,
at
though,
the same
Lippy.
t- Exactly.
Cole thing? Like the Joe Cole thing?
You get me? So it's like, what do you, it's like,
It's very difficult.
It's mad for them.
Because you wouldn't put him as a
They're
right
in the
winger.
hole.
You
Like
wouldn't.
you said, they're just in the hole. They're just there to kind of.
But he can play deep. And I guess, I can't remember who brought it up at the beginning of the show.
a camp.
Kevin De Bruyne was playing wide.
Yeah, Lippy.
And you wouldn't have said he was a wide player. He was a midfielder.
Simple
But
as that.
if we had this debate in 2017...
Yeah, you know what? In
Of course
hindsight,
you can go, because Bernardo Silva's not a winger.
in
not a winger,
hindsight,
he's
in
not a winger.
hindsight,
He's not a winger. He's not near a
He's
winger.
not a winger.
He doesn't do the
Grealish
same
ain't
thing
a
as
winger.
Mahrez. He doesn't do the same thing as Sane, Sterling. He doesn't
But
do the
Mahrez
same
is
thing
a
as
winger
those.
though.
But he doesn't do that's what I'm saying. That's
Do
wingers.
you know, when you watch them play, you can sort of figure out maybe the instructions they've been given. Like I don't see Bernardo Silva doing the Mahrez job or the Sane job.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He does some Bernardo Silva
I
thing.
think
Do you know what I mean?
It's
He's
down
a
to the
cam.
fact that it's the modern game, innit? You get these in-between guys, innit? Like the Coutinho's. Is he a left winger? Is he a 10? Is that you get the, you know what I mean?
Because you know what I begin to wonder, is Bernardo Silva coming in the middle next season and Foden going
Nah,
wide?
do you know what it is?
Yeah, it can
Foden
happen.
You know
coming
why
in the
that
middle.
even? You know why
I don't know.
That could happen because it's possession football now.
Exactly.
Down to we got lower league teams trying to play it out
the back.
from the
Exactly.
back. So it's like now they just want guys that are comfortable on the ball all around the pitch. So sometimes you've got 5 midfielders. They're all central players, really.
So then, Lippy, is it possible for a right winger to be a centre midfielder but play right wing then?
Yeah, because it's like,
Alright, cool.
I don't know, like Mahrez, for example. He's a winger. But say he started off as a 10. I would understand that, because you get me. Fair enough, he's better as a right winger, but I get it. It's like Eriksen. Eriksen is a 10 for me, out and out. You can slap him.
Because the wingers that you're talking about, the Sanes, they get the ball, they're very direct. I'm going at the fullback, and that's it. Mahrez in on that.
Yeah,
When Ozil had his legs,
he
he
was
was on
starting
that.
wide.
Yeah, you
Listen,
get
and ultimately,
Matter.
if Sane isn't injured all season, Bernardo, no one even thinks of Bernardo Silva as a right winger if Sane is fit this season. So
Do you know what? I think there's a new...
Matter's a good shot, because Matter will play on the wing, but Matter's not a winger.
Yeah,
I'm surprised
yeah.
all good.
All of us are grown, yeah? And we were up back in the day watching Whose Line Was It Anyway?
That was a great show.
Great show. Remember that, yeah?
Hey, Nick Cannon slightly
Yeah.
copied it with Wiley.
So we watched that. Yeah. So we know what midfield means.
Yeah.
We know
Yeah,
it means
yeah.
contributing attacking
Yeah.
and defensively.
Yeah.
I
Bernardo
hear that.
Silva, I don't want to put him in that bracket of attacking and defensively. For me, you're just an attacker.
But so is De Bruyne, though. But he's definitely...
No, De Bruyne.
De Bruyne gets back. Yeah, he gets back. No. Lippy. De Bruyne get no. De Bruyne he's a tackler.
De Bruyne left home at 16.
When I
He gets back.
When I watched him,
He can play deeper, but his game is 70% attacking.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
when
no.
30% defensive is just because he don't have the ball.
No,
They-
Lippy,
they
I reckon
both-
he's
but
more effective going forward,
No,
but you can't tell me he
These
doesn't
are great
go back.
players who can play both
goes
sides of the
back.
ball.
But-
These are great players who can play both sides of the ball, in my opinion. But Man City doesn't demand it
He's a
much
10.
because they're not out of possession
He
much.
doesn't play 10, but he is.
Bernardo Silva
Alright,
is a midfielder.
well,
I'll give him an 8.
we've
He
put
was
Bernardo
fourth on my
Silva
list.
5, and we've corrupted our own list
been fourth.
because we did not have this argument beforehand. But that's why you have arguments on camera, because that becomes part of the content. But it means we can move on to our top 4. And at number 4,
Go on.
Can't believe
Specs did not vote for him.
John Fleck.
N'Golo Kante.
What? I put him fourth. How can you not? Because
N'Golo
he's had a bad
Kante?
season.
No,
My
wait.
brother, let me tell you something.
He's top 3. He gets a
My
medal.
brother, if someone said Kante is available right now,
He gets it to everyone's team.
75 million even, everyone's going for him, bro. I can afford that.
100%.
Am I
Lippy.
right or wrong?
Oh,
On the
100%.
planet.
I'll put him
On the
dead
planet,
fourth.
bro.
I'll put him dead fourth.
You have to, I get it. He's had a bad, his season ain't been all that.
When he was at Leicester, he done his thing, won the league. Went Chelsea, done his thing. So the expectations of me and Kante is so high. I'm like, big man, keep going. And he's dropped it. So because he's dropped it, I understand there's reasons. There's loads of reasons why. But irrespective of that, he's dropped it, big man.
But there's no one
So-
better than him in his position.
For
though.
me, yeah. And
No,
for
but
me,
there's people better than him at their position and what they need to do.
Nah, but he's
Kevin
still
De
the
Bruyne,
best.
yeah.
I hear
Kevin De
that.
Bruyne for me is
But I hear
better
that, but
at
he's
doing
still-
his job.
But think about it.
But
Think
Kante's
about-
cold.
no, but think about it. Think about how good those guys are that you're talking about.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
That's the brain.
So that's why I'm
Exactly.
saying.
So it's like for me, Kante. One thing that's overlooked.
He's so good.
Everyone just thinks he's this little bald engine that just runs around. No, bro.
He could play.
The mileage is up. The mileage is
He
up.
could play.
He's part of
No,
it.
That's
he's
possible.
not.
It's possible that the mileage is up.
The mileage is
I
up.
don't think it is.
I don't think it's.
I think he
no way.
exponentially improves every team in the world.
100%.
Come Arsenal,
Easily.
mate, now.
I think he's the best DM in the
Him-
world.
you know
I think
what
he's the
it
best
is?
DM in the
Well, he's
world.
not a DM anymore.
He's not a DM. I don't
Well,
think.
The
That's
CM.
an argument. Because you know what it is? He can do it. He can do it. Because his ball winning ability is
I think he's the best
amazing.
DM in the
I
world.
learned,
But
you
for
know
me,
what, yeah, I
him
learned.
box to box.
But the manager's
is
decides to
almost
play him.
perfect.
Send him
Oh,
over the
absolutely.
pitch.
It's almost perfect.
Yeah, I
The
learned
only-
within the last year that he's box to box.
Yeah, but that's the manager.
That season that they won the league, Chelsea won the league.
Where was he
Not-
playing?
Not even Leicester, Chelsea.
And where was he playing?
Yeah, Conte I'm talking about.
Where was he playing?
For me, it was more of a box-to-box
No,
thing.
he was a DM.
No, let me lie. Let me not
It was
lie.
a DM.
They didn't have Jorginho that season. They didn't. Yeah, he was the deepest. He was the deepest.
He was a DM. He was a DM. Yeah, but he was a DM.
They did play DM.
No, you're right. They had three at the back. You're right.
Yeah, they
It was
did have
a
it, but
three
he-
with a four and then a three.
Yeah, but he was the deepest one.
No,
He
he
was the deepest
wasn't.
one.
You can't.
He was.
If it's two
No,
man, it
when
don't
you're
matter.
free at the back, it's a different situation. When
How
it's
can you have a holding with?
Yeah, with two men.
I actually,
It'd
I
be
actually
too defensive then. It'd be too defensive.
I think people looked at his tackling stats, look at his dispossessing stats and his interceptions, and made assumptions about where he played at that time.
Yeah.
I think now people are actually more savvy to understanding how midfields work.
Yeah,
I think back then, I think dude, defensive midfield. Look at the
You know what
tackles.
it is? We keep talking about the word system. Yeah, you replace him with Wijnaldum in Liverpool, and for me that's frightening.
Yeah,
It'll be almost flawless.
No, not today. Yesterday.
Maybe. I'm still not with you 100% on that.
Maybe
What
possibly,
man don't
yeah.
understand about
Kante's a baller, though.
Kante's a baller.
Baller.
He could
Because
play.
he's so physical, you overlook that. But he's a baller.
He could play. He could
bro.
actually
I've seen him score goals against Man United, take the ball and bang it. Like Kante is a baller.
Lippy, I'm sorry to hurt
He's
your
a
feelings,
baller.
yeah, but last season I saw more from
what?
John Fleck than Kante.
No,
He can't be
Kante-
in there. That's it.
No,
That's it.
I don't
And that's
care.
facts.
One thing I'll give Kante, yeah, that's hard for him. He's in a midfield of just like.
That makes no sense.
Not even trying to disrespect, man. It's almost like. I'm not even gonna use.
You know what
Conte's
Conte's?
just light.
I
They're
think
just very light.
I think Conte's problem.
They're very.
I think Conte's problem is Jorginho.
Yes. He
Could be.
is the
He's
least,
in his way.
He's the least physical midfielder
He's in his
I've
way.
seen in league history.
So are you saying you saw more of Kante than John Fleck last season?
I don't. What are you doing, bro? With this John?
He
Fleck
loves
and-
John Fleck.
John Fleck. Yeah.
You saw more from Kante.
John Fleck, he did good for his team. He did good for his team. I don't care. No.
You don't care.
Hey,
No, you can't tell me that.
Specs.
You
Don't you
said he
think
did more
when
for
you
his
sign
team?
Jorginho for 50 million and he's a priority to play, that is a bigger problem
that's
for
a
Chelsea
good-
than anything.
than
Like if
John
they don't
Fleck.
sign him,
I have
Kante's
no problem with that, but it doesn't change what I said.
All right, number 3 in our list. Bruno
Fernandez.
Fernandez. This guy looked at his phone.
Bruno. Double check. Well, I can't double check.
No, wait. Lippy, I want to hear how you feel about this.
What?
Lippy, I
Bruno
want to hear.
Fernandez is number 3.
Margs?
He's fourth in my
Margs,
list.
pass the mic. I want to hear how you feel about this.
He's in my top 10.
Where is he in your top 10?
I think he's 8th for me.
Did you put him 8th?
Yeah, I think I put him 8th. Was he? Yeah. For the simple fact that, don't get twisted, him in the final third, big problem. But for me, he plays football kind of like, it's not an issue, but it's like he just, everything, I don't know, man. He's a classy footballer. For me, it's what I've seen so far
He's
for
busy.
United. He is busy, but it's very like, I can't even explain it, bro. It's like, even for me, when was it? Yesterday you lot played? We just shooting all the time. Fair enough, the shots are on target. I get it. But you're not going to score, bro.
But he will score. He will score.
Yes,
Don't get
he'll
twisted. Like, he will
one
score.
in
16.
8.
Hey,
No, but my brother-
they said this about Liverpool's not greatest ever captain, Steven Gerrard. He
It's
used to
as
shoot
simple
all
as
the
this.
time,
I saw it
non-stop,
like this.
even when it wasn't going in.
I see it like this. Who was very similar for me was Coutinho, innit? A man, anytime he had like 2 inches of space, he's just licking it. Yeah?
Pause.
And for me, even if it gets to a half time, your coach is gonna sit you down and say, yeah, that cunt in the middle, just
Let me
get
say-
to him. Because all he's gonna do is shoot. And when the second team start to clock that, he's gonna start to regress. And it looks
because it's
mad.
not all he's
No,
gonna do
no.
is shoot. He can pick a pass
Oh,
as
you
well.
say that? No, because this is where it is. Because he scored bare penalties and he's got the stats to back it up. It looks very
he
pretty
snatched
right
the
now.
mic like Skepta
Yeah.
at fucking Red
Brother,
Bull.
he looks-
It's
he looks
mad.
very pretty right now with 13 goals or whatever he scored and about 15 of them are penalties.
How many
Cool.
assists has he got as well?
I don't care, man. I don't care. No,
I wanna
let me
come
ask
back
you
to this.
something. There's a term that I found out about on Twitter a couple years ago, and he fits it perfectly. It's called a stat padder.
Wow.
That's what
Codepenalties.
Bruno Fernando is. A
Fernandez.
stat padder.
Wow.
Is he a good player to you?
He's a very good player. He's in my top
amazing.
10.
He's in your top
no,
10.
he is, but that doesn't take
amazing.
away
The way
from
he's galvanised
No,
his
if you
team
talk about
and the
technical
influence
ability,
he's had on this United
if you
team.
talk about coming and not giving a fuck about what the league's saying, if you talk about everything, I'm a top player, I signed for 77 mil, and guess what? By
Brother,
the end of this,
let me
or
tell
whatever
you
he signed
something.
for,
50.
Let me tell you
50 mil,
something.
wherever
It
he signed
looks
for,
great.
he's
It looks
come
great.
and
It
he's done
looks
his thing.
great when you come in and you play like 6 games and you do well them 6 games and everyone goes
But it's
away.
not 6
Just let me
games.
finish, bro. Then you finish because then everyone goes away because of this pandemic.
yeah, for 3
Then you
months.
come back and get to play in the league and none of the hooligans are shouting at you and that. It's all rare.
Millwall.
It's beautiful. It's
Millwall.
beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Is Bruno
You see,
good though?
You see, I didn't. That's what I'm saying, man. I'm just. Where did you say he was?
You third.
Yeah, no.
You had him
No,
at
bro.
eighth. So
No,
Yeah,
fam.
third, yeah, third, yeah.
No, fam.
all right.
No.
Look, we've got two Man United fans here. You guys have had him up close and personal for 6 months now. Jordy, you had him for you had him 6.
It will never enter Ozil level. Never.
Tell them where I had him.
Number 1.
Marks had him 3rd.
This is my thing. And you see, this is my thing. I want to talk about football, bro. And I'm gonna, as much as I come on this platform, I'm gonna get my point across, bro. No, real talk. Aesthetic appreciation, bro. You know what that means, bro?
Beautiful.
It's the ability to be impressed by something
be
because
buff.
you know how hard it is. Because you play I can't watch tennis and say, oh, that backhand, that was a bad boy backhand. I'll just watch Nadal and them man there and be like, what are you talking about? I'll go to the park with the man there, I do all kind of serves. Because I don't understand, innit? You get me? I watch rugby. I think I could run.
Ronnie
past
O'Sullivan,
anyone. You
top
get me?
50.
There you go. But when I'm playing football now, I get it, bro. I understand how difficult it is to do some of the things.
A jump penalty.
That's
trash.
COVID football. Granted he did it before COVID. He'd already started to spark. He started to spark before COVID. Yeah. But then when Paul Pogba came back into the team, it was a Man United team saying, right, everyone, do what you can for him. I don't think that's realistic going forward.
Okay, watch this.
Nobody said that. Nobody said do what you can.
I agree with Tego with that, but for me,
No one does everything they can for Bruno. You just made that up.
Paul Pogba was drawn so deep. He was walking around against Leicester with no clue what to do because he wasn't allowed to get beyond the midfield. And Bruno Fernandez is running around going, I'm left winger, I'm up front, I'm left back, I'm right back.
That's full of shit.
No, but Tego's talking a fact now because I can't lie to you. Bruno Fernandez being in the team definitely restrict.
Why do you always agree with
Because I can
Tego?
see where he's
I
coming
thought the crowd was chatting shit.
No, Margs, I don't.
Why do you always agree with Tego?
Margs, I don't.
Anything Tego
It's
says,
just I don't agree with you. But I don't want to agree with you.
I get where you're coming
But
from.
Margs, you agree with both. You agree with both. I don't want to agree with both.
I don't
You
agree
agree
with
with both.
those
Bolt's
eyebrows.
never come here.
I would never
You
agree
agree
with
with
those
man, I'm kicking off the show.
I've been saying this, man. I've been saying this. Stop.
And if you want to agree with Specs thinks Grealish is the best player in the Premier League. So if that's who you want to agree with, go ahead.
When it's 5 months, he's dead.
I'm interested to see what happens next year with their midfield because I still think the balance is off.
Remember, I tell you this. United fans, bro, less than a year from now are going to be complaining about my man. They're going to say, why is he shooting? Pass it to my man. Right, watch, bro.
Lippy,
watch. I
I
seen
hope
them
so,
man
but
there.
if not-
I seen
If
them
not,
boy
you're in
there,
trouble.
bro.
You're in trouble. This is all
He gets
scored.
assists. He don't just shoot. He gets assists.
Because he's the only player in the league with a free roll.
He's a demon in the final third, bro.
Number 2 in the list. Only one person didn't vote for him.
Which was who? Specs.
Paul Pogba.
Come on.
Lippy, look at me, Lippy. Look at me.
You look like a Black Panther, bro.
Not like that.
Why Pogba?
Why Pogba?
Why?
I'll tell you
Explain to me
straight.
why Pogba's number 3 in your list.
I'll tell you straight,
Explain.
innit? I get it, innit? He has some performances where it's like, what the fuck? But for me, if I get it, because people say this about a lot of players on their best day. It's not your best day all the time. It's football, innit? This is what it is, innit? But for me, if you put him in a team that simply has a way of playing football, that's one of the best footballers on the planet. You make him go out there. He doesn't even need much instructions. You get me? He's a super duper talent. It's that. If he played football in any other era, we will be seeing a madness.
Lippy,
because it's this stat space fuckery bullshit. Now I'm telling you, bro.
No, I'm telling you.
fam.
I'm not happy with his.
He is,
Go on,
bro.
Specs.
Pogba's a
Specs is
baller.
the only person who didn't vote for him, so Specs can go.
He said if 65 times in that. If. So let me say this
No,
to you.
but I'm just saying that's
If you
opinion,
give
right?
Jeff Hendrick red boots, if you tell Jeff Hendrick go for a run, lose on that weight, if you give him a first touch, if you give him all the attributes, he'd be the best. But it doesn't mean anything at the end of the day.
That's not the truth.
No, it's the truth.
I kind of agree. Paul
There can't be ifs.
Pogba's inconsistency, and I feel
It
like
is,
every time Paul Pogba starts to look consistent,
Too many excuses.
he finds a way to look so inconsistent, and it does. I've got him second on my list, pure talent alone, his ability, and just I'm always
There
going to
you
project
go,
forward
bruv.
for him.
There
But
you
the
go,
inconsistency, when we talk about Jordan Henderson being on the list, almost just for consistency,
Put it
Paul
this way.
Pogba's inconsistency is
Let me-
it's really hard to defend.
Let me land with this, with what I'm gonna say. You gotta let me say it fully, otherwise it's gonna sound nuts. Yeah. If a player, I'm not even gonna go to all the way to the other end of the spectrum like a Messi. Let's just say
Brian Pillman. Say anyone. It doesn't matter.
man,
It works
let me
with me.
think of someone, man.
Thiago.
Yeah, let's say even Messi. Let's say Messi.
Yeah.
Top the top. Let's just listen
Overrated
to what
guy.
I'm saying. Just
Yeah.
listen to what I'm saying. Top of the top. You understand? If Messi wasn't consistent, fam, he'd still probably be the best player in his position on the planet.
No.
You be honest, bro. I think.
How good Ronaldo is
hate
maybe
that
not.
example
Ben
so
Arfa.
much.
You don't think that's
Ben
true?
Arfa. Ben
I hate that
Arfa.
example
you're
so much.
chatting.
Because he is so consistent.
No, he is, but at the same time, there's some play. I think it's just the way football
Lippy,
is
do you look
now.
at his ability and think to yourself, do you know what? There must be something wrong.
Bro,
I think
but-
Pogba's ability is so
but
good.
but
if he's not applying
sometimes
it,
I'll look
there's
at a
something
game.
going on.
Sometimes I'll look at a game at the beginning of a day and I'll say, I don't think Pogba's doing anything
But
today.
again, it's like I judge him like Ozil for us. There's as bad as Ozil has looked for us, yeah. When I watch Arsenal, I think, what the fuck is going on most of the time?
I hear you.
Yeah, a player like Pogba, Ozil, you slide him in to where he's meant to be, and it's just magic happens. I know it's not everyone's a Henderson, where you put them there and they're gonna work hard and there's some players, bro, you put them in a working unit and it's just magic. He's one of them guys, bro. You saw that with-
Pogba needs a move.
Listen, bro,
Sell him.
just listen,
Sell
man,
him.
just
He needs a
listen.
move. He's too good.
It's like you saw it with France in the World Cup. You saw it when he was at Juve. You put him in a team that's doing all right. And you're seeing things that not a lot of other men can do.
That's right.
All right,
How
listen.
you gonna deny that?
Listen.
How you gonna deny that?
That's luxury
He's the
player.
only yes, he is a luxury player. But let's look at you see the term luxury players. Some of the best players ever have been luxury players, bro. It's just for the simple fact that they played in a system that accommodated for them.
But Man United ain't even playing him like a luxury player. They're playing Bruno like the luxury and him like the worker.
And that's why they're fucking up, T. Because again, if you put guys like...
But the results, Man United will point to the results and go, this guy couldn't do this for us.
Specs, I could go to the extent of a Ronaldinho, bro. They took him out of Barca, they slapped him on AC Milan. They just said, yeah, you're a normal left winger now. No, bro. That's not how it works, fam. A guy like that, you have to more or less build around what they're on, because they're that good, bro. He has to leave. He does.
Pogba has to leave.
It's as simple as this. It's the same as Ozil. You see what I'm talking about? I don't believe you can do that in England. I don't believe you can do that in England for the simple, unless you're like a City and you just got guys everywhere, or a Liverpool. Because in England, a John Fleck would just stick by you and make you look average. No, am I wrong? So it's like abroad, maybe it might even be recruitment wise. It might just be abroad. The top teams play in leagues where the way the money is.
Do you worry that the excuses for Pogba just are too easy?
Listen.
There are, but at the same time, if you understand football, because put it this way, this is the way I see it. There's this. This is a random fact, innit? But there's this myth on football Twitter, yeah, that Zinedine Zidane wasn't good enough, that he was overrated, and that he only performed in big games. Yeah,
That's childish. They say the same thing about David Beckham as well.
It
Childish.
is, but at the same time, just listen, man, just listen. If these players were playing today, that's what man would be saying about them. Because they're not running around.
Yeah, but I've seen,
Pogba, it's the truth. Because they're not running around up and down like Henderson.
But again,
and all these guys, man, think they're.
Yeah, but
if the football today is too much about stats, like if you are not getting stats, no one will give a shit.
Hold on, there've been games on the line over the last 4 weeks where Pogba ain't showed up.
No, Tego, you're right.
No, my brother,
Pogba hasn't performed, but I think Pogba is not playing
What did he do? What did he do against Leicester?
What do you
What did
mean, ain't scored or
Copenhagen?
got an assist
No,
or
bro,
not showed up?
I've seen him walk around doing nothing.
I know it sounds fucked here. The way that United team is set up, yeah, any proper midfield they play against, Pogba's missing, bro. That's the way it goes. Like you just mentioned Leicester. They have a midfield unit that's serious.
Not their best midfield unit that day. Or was it Matty James, Tielemans?
Who wants to just kind of, because again, what's going on?
You know what? That's not true. Like, that's just not true. That's just some narrative that you are creating. Like, that is 100%
Margs, let's be honest. Pogba in the midfield position, playing in that sort of midfielder, he loses the ball so much in bad positions.
That's true.
And you know what? Pogba should be in Fernandez's position. So Pogba should be in Fernandez's position. He should.
Pogba's cool where he is. Pogba just needs a bit. Paul just needs a little bit more.
Can I ask you a question?
The reason why, the reason what?
Pogba won the World Cup playing behind the strikers, and now you want to move him to number 10.
Paul.
I know.
His name is Paul.
I hate it.
Okay? I'm telling you. He could do with a bit more discipline. And anything that he does lack here, is probably in between his ears.
I think Margs are racist.
Pure ability alone, yeah. He's the second best player, midfielder in this league.
I would agree.
There's no debate about it.
You can't. But again, we've just had that conversation about guys like Henderson.
Yeah.
We're talking about pure ability. We're talking about Ben Arthurs, Adel Taarabt.
Yeah.
Amazing footballers, bro. But when it comes, when it comes to application, they don't do what they have to do.
And you
when
know what?
When it comes to efficiency,
you know what?
Because again, this is a sport. In a sport, you either win, lose, or draw. So therefore, your skills have to add to the result. This is a result.
But Lippy, I hear you. But Lippy, by playing where he plays. But Lippy, playing where he plays best.
Since lockdown and
playing where he plays best.
Since lockdown and the return of football, more often than not, Pogba has put in good performances.
Cool,
and
that's
he's played
great.
very well.
Every time you've played a decent opposition, no, he hasn't.
That's great.
I agree, and
great.
that's the truth.
It's as simple as this. I know it's facts, But if football results were big, if it was like gymnastics, man holding up boards and that,
He didn't play
bro.
the second game.
Who?
Fuck you talking
He
about?
didn't turn up against Arsenal. Okay, once. Then he
Who?
didn't turn up
Pogba?
against
No,
Arsenal.
I'm not gonna lie. Pogba.
He loves
No,
Arsenal.
no, no.
You love Arsenal.
Brother, I'm not gonna lie.
He
Other than this season, Nah, I'm not gonna lie. Even when we beat them at the Emirates, Pogba played all right. I'll be honest, he does.
Lippy, I want to ask you a question.
But again, that's because our midfield is rubbed.
Right, Lippy, answer this. Lippy, answer this. I mean, I'll be honest about it.
Yeah.
Has Pogba had a good season?
No.
He plays more effective going forward. So now they've put him in this number 8 role. I always said from day one, I've never really seen Pogba play that role where he has to have more defensive responsibility. When I see Pogba playing forward, he's sick. But with the more defensive responsibility, he's poor.
Are you saying
that's why I don't want to
He's
see
not a
that?
number 10.
No, he's a player. But fam, for Juventus, he had no defensive responsibility.
Are you saying?
So give him a defensive responsibility.
So are
he's
you
poor.
saying?
I expect that.
Are you saying?
And for France, he
Are
has
you
no
saying
defensive
Pogba is in the top? Are you saying Pogba's in the top 10 midfield because people haven't done the best for him?
Or because he was good at Juventus.
Do you know what?
What are you saying to me? I want to hear this.
Do you know what? When you say it like that, I sound like a prick. I'll give it to you. That's poor. I give it to you. But you know what it is? This is the biased position for me. I believe in Pogba. I think he has so much ability. I just think if you play him in his position where he wants to play, I think he'll do well.
Not just you.
That's
you, him, that man over there, and this guy here.
I vote for him.
You
I
ain't
vote
let
for
me
him.
say my
you
point.
believe in him?
So you just think I've said Pogba's cold?
No,
Because of all the things
no,
you
I'm
think.
saying.
I ain't been able to justify my
What
take.
you've said is amazing. You spoke about Ben
was cold.
I'm glad you brought Ty back. That's a great point. Bro, you
Ty.
got a big dick, but you're bad at sex. No point in having a big dick.
I fucking agree.
No point in having a big dick.
Let me ask you.
If you bust
No
early,
point.
you do nothing with it.
You put it in and you're not moving it.
Yeah.
Why have it? Cut it off.
So you can bring yourself to rate Hendricks and Fleck, but not Pogba.
No, but he's explained that though. Margs, you got to do better than that.
Ireland and Scotland play. You don't play. You don't
Put it
play.
this way.
You don't play.
I get it. Pogba ain't had a good season. For me, Kante ain't necessarily had a good
Season. He got Player of the Year last season. He was in the Team of the Year.
That's last season. I know, that's mad. That's mad.
So you got Player of the Year
Last season. By the way, your player of the year is not the player of the year, by the way. Because every argument we have, a Man United fan will tell me this player won player of the year last year. Luke Shaw won player of the year last year. Did he? No one knows who won your player of the year, but Man United fans will draw for that player every
time. Do you know
time.
what's mad? Yeah, do you know what's mad? The best team in the world, the best team in the league is who? We'll talk about Liverpool. We talk about Liverpool's system.
Yeah.
Could you put Pogba in that system with all this ability?
Brother, you put Pogba for Liverpool, you're seeing
Where?
fright.
Where are you going to put him there? Where are you going to put
Because
him?
it's as simple as this.
Who?
Let me just say my
Genie.
whole thing. Bro, let me say my whole thing. It's as simple as this.
Then there's no system. The
No,
system has to change.
it's as simple as this.
He's not going to run.
It's as simple
He's
as
not
this.
going to run. There's no engine. You lost an engine, but take with now the
I don't think you can play Pogba in Liverpool.
Pogba can't get in Liverpool's team.
You could play him
Oh
there.
my days!
You could play him there, but you'd have to change the system.
No, but you know, it's cool. So you know what Tego just said? You have to play him there, but you change the system. To me, Paul Pogba cannot be. You can't treat him like a
change him in
dickhead.
the
He
system.
is a fantastic
change him in
player.
the
I wouldn't change him in the system.
To me, Paul Pogba is a fantastic
But let me
player.
tell you something.
But you can't.
No, let me
Liverpool's
tell
too
you
great.
something.
He's a Rolls Royce. He's a Rolls Royce of a player.
Whatever, that's just bars.
Can I talk? Let me say something.
A man told the rapper it's just
That's just facts. That's just facts.
Lippy's losing his head. Lippy's losing his head. Miles, he's going to fight you in a minute.
I'm not even listening to what I'm saying. That's fine.
Go on. Pogba at Liverpool.
He's second on the list for a reason.
He is.
And he's only second to Kevin De Bruyne.
I'm gonna resent
resent
Pogba being high on any list for the rest of his time in the Premier League, because I don't think he's ever going to be that consistent guy. I don't think that he could go in there and do what Klopp tells him to do and be effective in that system. I think Liverpool would have to change. They played that way, and I think that'd be stupid. I'm disappointed in Paul Pogba. I'm continually disappointed in Paul Pogba.
This is what I want to say about
Here we go.
Liverpool, yeah?
I had to just say.
I think, the one thing Liverpool lack in their midfield, let me land, bro, is a little bit of creativity, I think their creativity comes from Firmino. So I think if they had a bit of a creator in the middle. It would take the kind of that, you know, them ones that
Would that
control
only
the
would that only work at false 9 though?
I don't think so
Because Pogba could work false 9 for Liverpool, but I feel like that's a bit of a hiding place.
because I just think, because put it this way, you see what Wijnaldum does. Let's be honest. He does get back, but he doesn't do an awful lot of defending.
No, he doesn't.
There you go. And Pogba is a much better footballer than Wijnaldum. Therefore, if you put him in that team, he'll have a key role. You understand? The options he has will be ridiculous. And I think he'll be nuts. Am I right or wrong? You're gonna give it.
It's a lot. It's 4 years at Man United.
Sometimes you got to drop the ego and pride and loan
It's
him
as simple as
Loan
that.
him out.
Loan him out.
My brother,
Loan him out.
It's as simple as this.
loan him out.
Villa,
Listen,
bring Grealish in. Send him
You
to
see,
Villa.
Pogba at United just doesn't work. I think everyone should accept it, and Pogba should just leave. That's it. It hasn't worked.
Loan out who?
Loan out Pogba, man. And you pay the
But
wages.
Lippy, it doesn't work.
Loan him out.
Loan your hat out.
Lippy, since 2015 when he signed, it hasn't worked.
Is he your cousin?
All right. You think we're talking about the number 1 player here? We're not. We're talking about the number 2 player who is. I've got him number 2 on my list because his ability is mental. His ability is mental.
He's class, man.
So it is what it is. But I said this a few episodes ago. If he leaves Manchester United without becoming Paul Pogba, then that is a big flop. And I actually resent the fact that we've talked about him this long. And I resent every argument I've ever had about him because he never fucking proves me right. He only ever proves me wrong. And it's frustrating. So we're going to move on to number 1. There's no question. It's Kevin De Bruyne.
Oh, this is boring, man. This is like...
No, but one thing...
Why is this not boring?
Did you think it was Fleck? Did you think it was Fleck?
One thing I want to say...
Bearing in mind that Specs had him number 2.
One thing I want to say, yeah?
No, Kevin
This
De
is one
Bruyne.
thing I want to say about Kevin De Bruyne and City players in general, innit? I think they get an easy ride in regards to the fact that no one's a City fan, innit?
Yeah,
so you ain't
true.
got, like, Ozil now. So when Ozil was good now, as an Arsenal fan, I was like, yeah, Ozil's the hardest. Everyone else was like, no, he's shit. They didn't really mean that, but it's because I'm saying the best. They're going all the way to the other end of the spectrum. With De Bruyne now, there's no City fan to come in your face and be like, yeah, he's the coldest. So you'll just be having your conversation about your Ozils, your Matters, your Rare. And you'll be like, De Bruyne. Yeah, he's the coldest. You understand? Raheem, Rare. You understand? But don't get it twisted. He's ridiculous.
He's the best. He's the best.
Lippy, irrespective of all of that, is he the best in the Premier League?
He is, but he's had off times. That's
Yeah, but the thing is, everyone has off times. But Kevin De Bruyne, his ability is so high. Even when Man City finished second,
Who came second?
Man City.
We put it this way.
Kevin De Bruyne is too good.
I hear
He's
you.
way too
but
good.
just listen to what we're saying. What we just spoke about in the bigger picture. Yeah, the guy that came second. Yeah, look how much we complained about him, bro. So to be the best centre midfielder in England right now, bro, all you have to do is apply yourself.
He does more than that.
Does
though.
De Bruyne?
But you can't say that, Lippy, because
Who
this
doesn't
applies
De
to
Bruyne
that.
start for in the world?
You can't
Who
say that.
doesn't? No, forget who does.
Go on,
Who
go on.
doesn't he
I
start
can't
for?
do this, bro, 'cause
Lippy.
what is that
Who does he
got
start
to do with
for?
my point, bro?
Cool. Who
He
does he
starts
start?
for everyone. Cool. That has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. He does. He starts for everyone.
doesn't he
But
start
again,
for?
I'm not gonna lie. If a Pogba applied himself, he'll be the best centre midfielder in
But
the
if
league.
that if is fundamental.
City, bro. Imagine Pogba at City.
But
But
that-
you don't have to complain about.
But
him.
that if is fundamental though.
ain't gonna be better.
You might as well
He's gonna
say if a man's left foot wasn't sewn on
No,
backwards.
do you know what it is? Football is an if game. It's not like boxing where you say, but if he
But
banged
we're
him,
talking.
it's not,
But when we're talking about
In
the
football,
top of the
there's real
top,
ifs, bro.
yeah. But when we're talking about the top of the top, we're talking about the best midfielder in the Premier League and the best player in the Premier League.
In the world.
One of the best in the world.
It's still ifs though.
But then he deletes ifs. Paul Pogba has those ifs
He
hanging
does, but
around.
when De Bruyne, put it this way, when De Bruyne played at Chelsea, there was no.
Yeah, but he wasn't good
if
then.
He
No,
wasn't
come
that great.
on.
No, but let me tell you something.
Go on.
When De Bruyne played at Chelsea, I don't know about you lot, I said if he goes to a team that plays him, he's going to be one of the best players in the world.
So he deleted the if. So he deleted the if.
I hear you, but at the same time,
Oi,
there's something.
that's a good point. That's a good point. You can't argue that. Hey, Lippy.
Wait.
That's a bad point.
No, yeah.
I said if time ago, bro. You didn't spot me.
Nah, because you're just far away.
No. You go up. No one ever get up for this guy.
It's far, though.
You didn't say.
I said if 65
No, but he
times.
said delete.
I didn't say anything
Tego
about
said
it.
a very good point.
Yeah.
there. But do you not?
What did you say? If
Pogba's got time to delete his if, but he hasn't yet. and
Yeah,
that's
but
the point.
it's frustrating.
And that's the
But
point.
Kevin De Bruyne, every time you might think you've got something where you could go, there's a chink in the arm or something.
There's no chink.
Kevin De Bruyne just goes whoop.
From the moment he signed for City, I've seen him play in numerous positions. He doesn't care about excuses.
And
he's what Tego just said. He cuts out all them excuses and
And you know
just
what
says,
it
you know
is?
what? This is how good I am.
I'll tell you
Play me
straight.
where I need to play.
He's the best in the world.
There's
The best.
another thing.
Best
He's
CM in the
like the
world.
opposite of Kante for me. Everyone thinks about technique. Bro, he works his socks
Yeah,
off.
absolutely,
you know?
yeah.
If you're playing a DM and De Bruyne is there, your DM don't exist. Bro.
Yeah.
He's
And
gonna make that guy there
Yeah,
look
but
like a dick.
There's a video on
Fuck him,
there's a
fuck him,
player
man, he's
cam
annoying.
video on YouTube of him versus Manchester City. I think he was against Real Madrid. He was captain that game. I watched it the other day. It's only about 14 minutes or something. It's not the whole game. You just watch his movement. Watch the way he finds space. Watch the way he talks to players. Watch the way he gets in between defenders, even defensively. To me, Pogba is not a comparison to Kevin De Bruyne.
No way.
You know what it is?
I think I'm fed up of KDB.
Why?
I'm not.
Because obviously he's clocked the game. Now let's look
You
at
know what
other
it is?
players.
You know why
No,
it
but
is?
Specs.
right.
No, it's like when you
No,
go,
but it's not
bro.
wrong. I hear
You know
where it's
when you
coming
go,
from.
you
But
know
not a bad thing.
when you go supersonic. You know when you clock the game and you got everything, and then you start the game again. You go and do little mini missions.
you got
What's
the
the point?
bonus
I don't need to clock it again.
For me, he's just.
Have you played Postman back?
Miles, do you know why I hate Kevin De Bruyne? When I watch certain midfielders, Kevin De Bruyne has about 20 minutes on the ball because I think players are genuinely scared of him. You see the players that they don't respect, them man have about 10 seconds
Brother,
on the ball.
let
Fam.
me tell you
Kevin De
something.
Bruyne is so good. He has earned the
Stop me if
respect
I'm wrong,
when
yeah.
man are like, do you know what? I cannot go to him
It's
because
as
he might
simple
run
as
past me,
It's as
play
simple
a
as
part.
it. And you know
He's
what makes you
fucked.
right, poet? I don't know if it's the last goal he scored. I don't know who it was against. We done some kind of footwork thing, edge of the box, and just what the fuck, bro? Because it's like, because if you charge at him, he's just gonna play it through. It's almost like you have to let him do that and just have faith in
To
him.
be honest with you, if that's
Bro,
a
the guy
bang
is
average midfielder,
tapped, bro.
if that's a bang
He's
average
tapped.
midfielder, he will have the
Bro,
same amount of time as
see
Kevin De
him in
Bruyne.
Champions
Just saying
League,
stuff just to
bro.
say stuff. It's not
He's a
beautiful.
madness.
It's beautiful.
Watch
Like,
Man City,
he
he's one of
is
the best
a
players.
madness, bro.
What's
I know
boring?
what you're saying.
Respects, I get it.
You know what?
But appreciate it while it's here. Appreciate it.
Do you know what it is? It was in school. In school. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me like that, bro. It's up to me. It's up to me. Don't tell me about what. It's up to me. Of course, because I've noticed him. You don't watch my football. You don't watch my football. You don't watch my football.
When I go watch KDB, shut up, man. How's it boring?
Hey, 1 second. Sit the fuck down. Sit down, man.
Just to say to the camera, that's stupid.
Sit down. He's sitting down.
Bro, get your head out your arse.
Get the fuck out of here. You let me say this. When I was in secondary school, let me finish. One second. Let me talk. When I was
When you was in secondary
don't laugh, yeah. When I was in secondary school, not high school, and you was the best ball in the year. Year 7, we knew you was the best. Year 11, we're not licking your ass. We know who's next. Go. That's what we're on.
I don't know about your school route, boy. You see me, I came in and I maintained. You see me? Shout out to everyone
ultimately,
else.
you got no say in it.
But Specs,
You know what it is.
expect, appreciate you maintaining
All of
it,
you have
though.
got a Tamagotchi. You fed it, it's put on weight, it's 6 weeks, it's about to die.
No, it's going to turn into a dragon.
No.
It's going to turn into a dragon now. Now it turns into a dragon and it evolves. You talking about it's not going to die?
You know what it is?
No, you do.
We got
You
the
get your pen,
Tamagotchi.
you get your
You
pen,
can merge it
you
with
go
the
to the
other
back,
one and
you pinch
stuff
it.
him. And he's mashing up the other one if it's the Bruyne
Yeah.
dragon.
All right, cool. But you
Listen.
pinch it at the back. Have you pinched your Tamagotchi at the back before?
Have I pinched it?
Yeah, you know the little,
Well,
the
when
little
you
button?
reset.
Yeah,
You
reset.
yeah.
Next player, Fleck.
That's our top 10. I don't know if you noticed, but there was no actual exchange of words between Miles and Poet beyond that bit at the beginning.
He's a wassy, that's why.
Let us know the top 10. Let us know the top 10 in the crowd, in the comments. Paul Pogba, yeah, man, fuck him. No, don't fuck him, but fuck him.